Hi, my name is Clayton Bora, and I've been doing CrossFit for about 10 years now. Recently, I've decided to do an ultramarathon this summer. My goal is to discover how well CrossFit has prepared me for this more specialized event with just slight modifications to my regular training. Before starting this journey, I hadn't run longer than 6 miles at any one time. I've got a long ways to go and really a short time to get there. Let's do this.
All right, still up in the Sawtooth Mountains, still at Redfish Lake. It is Wednesday afternoon, and my leg is starting to finally feel a little better. My foot and ankle still a little iffy, but doing okay. So, spent the day with the family yesterday. Got a little too much sun laying on the beach. But I'm gonna spend the day out this afternoon putting in some miles. So start with about 4.5 miles into Marshall Lakes or Marshall Lake. Can't remember if it's plural or not, or if it's Marshall's Lake. Anyway, so then another 4.5 out, so that's 9. And then I'll get back on the ridge trail that I tried on Saturday and had to turn back and see if I can get that complete. So that would be another 12. Oh yeah, looking at a good 21 miles or so today. So that's my plan. I'm gonna hike a lot, run some, and just try to get some distance and working on my legs without too much pounding on my ankles and my ankle and knee. So we'll see how long it takes. All right, well, it looks like it is Marshall Lake. It's not Marshall's or Lakes. All right, up the trail we go. Okay, so I'm running this ridge up here to Marshall Lake. And I mentioned earlier I'm gonna go back down and then run the ridge trail. So that is along this ridge over here and down. So it's a good fur piece today. I'm feeling pretty good. I've been walking most of the uphills, and so far this has been all uphill for a little over 2 miles. So it's gonna be fun on the way down, I think. Yeah. It's a warm day. And elevation's a little bit higher than I'm used to, so that's fun. The shade feels nice. So about half a mile back, crossed over into wilderness out of national forest. So, or yeah, I think that's how it works. Anyway, so this trail's a little less used, and that's good. It's kind of technical in spots. More trees to jump over. What else did I notice about that? Oh yeah, it's leveled out a little bit. Still climbing, but it's not the steep climb that the first 2 miles was. So I've actually been able to run a little bit more. All right, well, we just came across another couple on the trail. I'm getting close to the lake, I think. Anyway, they said that about a half a mile from the lake, it's just snow and deep snow, and it's impassable. So, but they said you can see the lake, so I'm gonna keep going. Maybe see if their definition of impassable and mine are the same. But also realize that I have, another 15 miles of running and hiking to do today. So maybe I don't push it that hard. Anyway, all right. Well, I haven't run into the snow yet. It was that deep. And I'm also looking at where I might have to go. I climbed up a really steep section. And down there is a lake. I have no idea if that's Marshall Lake or not, but that means if I go down there, I gotta come back up. Currently gained about 1,500 feet of elevation is all. And the rest of the trail looks like there kind of is a trail right here, but man, that looks sketchy. The rest of the trail keeps going up, so we'll keep going up a while and see what I come across. That lake down there is full of logs from like a microburst or something interesting. There, so we can see all the logs that are down in there. But right over here, whoops, there we go. There's a waterfall feeding down in there. Running has come to a complete stop because, well, I'm traversing the side of a cliff. And so I'm going to stop recording and not travel any farther, but I'm working my way down, aiming to get clear down there to the lake. I don't see where there's going to be a bunch of snow, so I did walk over 2 really small snow drifts back there just after I met that couple, and that's the only snow I've seen so far. So anyway, we'll see if there's something around this bend. But this is all, whatever direction that is facing directly into the sun, so it should all be melted. So anyway, well, time-wise, I think I need to head back, but kind of climbing through this stuff nice and really slowly. The beautiful little waterfall over here. Might take a seat for a second, grab a little bite to eat, take a few pictures, start heading back. Well, I think I changed my mind. Based on how much water is coming down right here, makes me think that there's maybe a larger body of water right up over this ridge. So I'm going to keep climbing up there. I'm not going to go down to whatever this other lake was. Climb up there and see if there's something there I can see. It would be a bummer if I'm just that close to seeing a beautiful alpine lake and don't quite get there in time, or don't go all the way. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, that section of climb was it was a lot like climbing up this behind me, just a whole bunch of boulders and rocks and so on and so forth. But when I got to the top, now there isn't a lake here per se, so that must be that other lake down there. And I'm sure the trail keeps going, but well, that's what I got. That was the payoff for that hill, which is pretty awesome. It's just rugged wilderness and awesome alpine snow. It's just a big open basin here. Big mountain peak up there. Anyway, now I'll rest. Well, I was mistaken. As you can see here from the screen grab from my Strava route, there's a big, huge body of water there to the left, and that is Marshall Lake, and I couldn't see it because of the snowdrift. You can see down at the bottom right where that smaller lake is. I don't know what name of that lake is, but that's definitely not Marshall Lake. So I didn't make it far enough, and that couple that told me that there was a lot of snow was definitely right. Now, had I known that, and if I could have seen the lake from where I stopped, I may have tried to go up that mountain behind me and get up into the rocks and go above the snow and then come back down to the lake. But at that point in time, I didn't know, so that's when I turned around. All right, well, I made it back down all that steep, well, more or less just a goat path back down to the trail. And so from here, it's pretty runnable and downhill for the next 3 miles. So I'm gonna turn off the camera and try to make up some time on my way down here, and then I'll check back in when at the bottom, when I decide whether I'm gonna do the bridge trail or not. So see you in a bit. Well, I'm going for it. Got back to the trailhead where the creek is. Sat down by the creek for a couple of minutes and cooled my body down a little bit. And decided that I have less than a month till my ultra, and I want to feel what that distance feels like, so at least something close. So I'm gonna keep going. Only concern is if I have enough water. I mean, I'll make it. That's maybe not the ideal amount. Filling up there would have been great, but I didn't know if that water was safe to drink or not, and I don't have a filter, so we'll just try to ration what I got. Whew. Good times. Good times. Oh man. This is all uphill too. I've run very little. I've been hiking a lot. It's freaking hot. I'm rationing my water. This side pouch is pretty much empty. I have a little bit left in this one to make it the rest of the way out and back. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. But I think I can do it. I don't know, I'm moving pretty slow. A little over 11 and a half miles so far total. Lots of climbing. 3.5 hours of moving. Well, it turns out that this trail is about 3 miles up on one side of the bridge and then 3 miles down on the other side. So getting a little running down this side, but that just means when I turn around, I'm gonna have to climb back up this. But I'll get to go back down the other side. Oh. It's a nice little single track. Lots of tree cover, shady, which is nice, because the other side's a bit more exposed. Okay, well, I'm pretty much out of water, and I just made it to the end of the trail. So I'm not gonna go back. I don't feel that's a smart decision. So I think the shuttle, the boat that picks people up at the end of the lake, comes every hour. I think I just missed it. So there's a little half mile trail here to a lily pond. So I'm gonna go look at a lily pond for a little bit and then walk back and wait for the boat. Okay, that last 3/4 of a mile to this lily pond was the hardest of all day. Completely out of water, but this is kind of nice. But I met a family on the way up here. And they said by another 1/8 of a mile there's a beautiful waterfall, so I'm gonna go see that.